Hey guys, I'm starting up scriptwriter, and I've been following Filmento, Lessons from Screenplay, Super Eye Patch Wolf, Just Right, and NW Movies, and a couple of other amazing YouTubers that really inspired me to try to learn the craft and how to write and analyze media more in depth than I previously had done. And so now that that's been said, I wanted to talk about Cobra Kai. One of my best buds recommended it to me, basically begged me to watch it, and I did, and I liked it. I found the journey Johnny finds himself to be very nuanced and just good storytelling because we really get to see it from the other guy's point of view. And here we gain a lot of empathy and sympathy while understanding what he went through and seeing it through his eyes. I wanted to make this video because my bud and I started discussing the season 2 finale, and he loved it, and I felt it could have been stronger, even though I did like it. But I think they could have connected different philosophies and themes by which different characters had been going through, but I didn't really verbalize it until I talked to him. You're gonna need a bit of information beforehand about the characters and what has been going on, because I'm really just gonna be talking about the climax of season 2 and just about like the ending. So to recap, Hawk has been in a place of like simmering rage as he sees his ex with a new woman or girlfriend or whatever, and his former best friend is bringing out everything he hates about himself because instead of accepting and moving past his flaws, he learned to ignore them through Cobra Kai by gaining this new persona. And the other character I really want to focus on was Sam. She kissed her ex Miguel, who was currently with Tori, and they had previous beef because Tori was jealous of her like princess lifestyle, which I thought was a pretty big theme they were going for. There's also Miguel and Robbie, but I think they did a really wonderful job with them, so I'm not really going to talk about them. So now, what happened in the climax? Hawk chases Dimitri. Dimitri hides. Hawk finds him, and then they fight where Hawk, in my opinion, loses. Sam gets chased and fights Tori. Tori takes out her weapon of choice, the bracelet, and scratches her in the arm and breaks one of Sam's ribs. Now, what does this mean philosophically? Hawk was beat by a barely trained Dimitri and showed that good guys win, which robs the show of its nuance because the point is that good and evil aren't something that's easily defined, and why the Karate Kid was a kid's movie, but this show, at least to me, is supposed to be for teens who understand there's like a gray area, as Johnny stated at one point. Sam gets internal injuries and her arm is hurt, so internal injuries could be seen as Sam having internal problems and needs to work on them, but this kind of has been hinted out throughout the entire season already and is, I don't think, really that important. The arm is only going to be relevant, in my opinion, for when the directors want to do something dramatic, but her overall princess lifestyle is still intact. In addition, Moon and her new girlfriend seem pretty irrelevant, considering that Moon appeared for like 5 seconds in the high school fight, and is never again seen, and the new girlfriend never appeared again, making her like a one-scene, like a one-dimensional character. Now, this would be my rewrite, right? Hawk chases Dimitri. As they're chasing each other, they go past Moon. Moon chases them and tries to stop the fight. Dimitri dodges, because that's the only thing I think he should be good at this point, and Hawk hits Moon by mistake. Now, Hawk is paralyzed and confused after a moment. The new girlfriend appears and starts going off on Hawk, yelling at him. This is the moment where he snaps, and he makes the active choice to punch the new girlfriend in the face. Dimitri takes the chance to run away, but now Hawk is angrier than ever. He finds Dimitri, and Dimitri blocks that attack. Now Hawk goes again, and Dimitri goes to block, but Hawk overpowers him and breaks the block. When he stands on top of Dimitri, he breaks his legs and says no mercy. Now on the other fight with Sam and Tori, they fight as it did, but when Tori takes out the bracelet, she slashes her face, leaving like a 3-line gash on her cheek or like in her face. Then the fight stops, or you can make her have her ribs broken, and the rest would be just about the same. But I think what this means in terms of like the philosophy and ideologies change from like my rewrite to what actually happened is that so Moon represents the only connection that Hawk had to go back to being normal, and his wrath is what blinded him, and at the end ended up hurting the person that he cared most about, and is going to eventually hurt himself, which is like I think the ideology of wrath and why wrath is so bad. But because wrath can be linked to like self-esteem, it's like a self-defense mechanism that is not the best choice long-term, but short-term it does look like it. And so he doesn't know what to do, but when he feels attacked again with the girlfriend, he goes towards what Cobra Kai taught him, and that was striking first and attacking the new girlfriend. Dimitri, in my opinion, represents the twisted version of Miyagi, or I think it would be like a nice point to do that. And so instead of holding your ground and being strong and not and using karate to defend yourself instead of like attacking, he just runs away and he doesn't fight back and he just learns how to dodge. And that way it could be another like twisted way of twisting an ideology, because I think ideally you would have both ideologies twisted, the Cobra Kai and the Miyogi, in order to see all of the different ranges that one philosophy can be misinterpreted. And so that ideology is not good enough, the Dimitri ideology, and he gets overpowered by Hawks philosophically and literally. This leads to Hawk to go the extra mile and break Dimitri because he was his enemy now, but also because Dimitri represented everything that was once wrong with him and his own self-weakness. So when Hawk breaks Dimitri, he breaks his enemy and he breaks the weakness that he saw inside himself. And now with Tori, gashing Sam's face leads to meaningful consequences, because now Sam can't go back to the same life that she had ever again, and her princess status is never going to be the same, because now people are always going to judge her when they see her. And this would represent the whole Tori being jealous of her princess lifestyle, and it would make sense that she wanted to destroy everything that made her happy because she felt attacked and because she was trying to defend her relationship. And that's the best way she thought she could do it, in a way where she gets self-satisfaction of where she felt attacked and the unfairness of her kissing her boyfriend. So what does this mean for like the following seasons? I think Tori might be confused and end up joining Cobra Kai and deepen her ideals into what they are. So because she feels like there's no coming back from what she did. And Hawk is now not just looking for vengeance, but he's giving into his wrath. And at this point, I think Hawk represents the embodiment of Johnny, but being more twisted into Kreese. And so he gives into the ideals of Kreese, and we would get to see how that would play out. So for that, I think Hawk should never lose a fight again, representing that Cobra Kai way, the Cobra Kai way works and makes you ultimately strong. But then I would have him kill someone in order to show that for ultimate strength, you have to cross the line. You shouldn't. And that's how you one-up him, breaking someone's limb at the end of this season. And the person that I think he should kill is Kreese, because it would represent Hawk completely embracing that no-defeat mentality, and Kreese would be proud that he finally made someone as strong as himself. He should probably kill him after a sparring lesson where Kreese wins, and then says something that'll trigger Hawk, and Hawk just goes too far because he's just blinded by wrath, because that's what he was taught to do. And this is going to break him, and so Kreese feels like he finally created another copy of himself, but just broke a person. And philosophically speaking, because it's not a message that we want to say it's a good thing, I think he ultimately needs to end up going to jail, even though he's full of regret, showing that the Cobra Kai way is ultimately wrong. And I don't know if my changes might be too strong for the audience that it's intended to, but I think breaking a limb and having like a scar on your face wouldn't be too much, considering that Hawk had like a cleft lip palate, and it just gives the show more stakes and actual consequences, and it puts you on edge because it makes you feel like there's always something on the line, because